up, party people? Taylor here. Been a while. Currently it's 2:58 p.m. We're in Los Angeles, California local time. Back home, back on the home turf. Haven't seen you guys since Vegas. Haven't vlogged since Vegas. Been playing a good amount here of 2-3 at the bicycle. It's part of the outdoor gaming. There it is. Over there. But I've been running it okay. A little off and on. Some big swings, some good sessions, some long sessions. If you follow me on Instagram, you can check it out right there. My loyal, I think there's about 24 followers. Also known as the Rat Pack or the Rat Pact. If you are not following Drunk Disco Poker on Instagram, you are missing out on a whole lot of fun. Just asking the 24 followers and they'll tell you.
Join the Rat Pack, or else.
But back here with the bike, hoping to get some run good here. This is the first time I'm going to vlog at the bike. There'll probably be more and more vlogs to come in the near future. Going to be in Vegas at the end of the month. So by the time you're watching this, I might already be in Vegas. Wish for some run good. See you in there. All right, everybody, here we go. First hand of the vlog. Saying the hijack with Jack Queen offsuit of the spade and diamond variety. The straddle is on, so I go ahead and raise it up to $15. There ends up being one caller, so we're heads up to the flop. Flop comes down King Queen 5, which is a pretty decent flop for me. Make middle pair here. I go ahead and throw out a bet of 18 after it checks to me. And the opposition player, same caller as before, calls as well. Turn comes the 10 of diamonds, so pick up some extra equity. This is good for my range, especially now with my gut shot. After it checks to me again, I sense some weakness and I try to exploit it, throw out a bet of 35 and get a fairly quick fold. So nice to take down this $71. Second hand, look down at pocket eights, one heart and one club, the cool 8 club. In the small blind, a couple limpers, I go ahead and raise up to 17 and get 2 callers through. As the flop comes 10, 3 deuce, 2 hearts. I just make a pretty standard C-bet to of $9 to induce some action. Think in my head here on this flop. Person behind me calls, and then the middle position player go ahead and shoves for about $41. I didn't see his stack. I probably should have pushed him instead of my small bet sizing. But for $30, I'm getting a pretty decent price. I have the flush blocker with 8 of hearts, so I go ahead and make the call for $30 more. If he has trips, so be it. Big blind calls as well. Turn is the 2 deuce of spades, pretty much a brick. I check. River is the 7 of spades. Checks through once again. And after it does so, the all-in wins with king 10. With a pair of 10s on the flop. Probably could have bet to take it on a side pot, but oh well. Next hand, pocket quiggities, as Brad Owen would say, on the button. Good place to have queens is on the button. I go ahead and raise it up to $16. There are 2 callers, small blind and middle position player, so we are going 3 ways to the flop on a decently action-heavy table. So the flop comes down. Jack of spades, king of clubs, 10 of spades. Pretty good looking flop for me. Middle position bets 25. I consider a raise here, count out some chips, but decide against it to keep him in the pot. If he is bluffing, he probably has something though with this bet. So I go ahead and just make the call, see what we can make on the turn here. Small blind calls for 25, so we're still 3 ways. Going to the turn. Turn comes the Queen of Hearts, which is a miracle, great card for me. I think after it checks to me, I can take this down here. No need to let a free card come on the river. Charge villain's the max with any spade draws. So I bet $61, hoping to get some value here. The small blind tanks for a little bit, but ultimately, and I guess somewhat unfortunately, decides to make the smart call and doesn't actually call, but he goes ahead and throws his cards in the muck. But middle position calls, 3 of clubs on the river, a total brick. He checks to me, sensing weakness once again here. I throw out a larger bet here, about $80. But unfortunately, middle position quickly mucks, and my trip queens, set of queens, takes it down. So nice, decently sized pot here, $250 to take down. Pocket queens, hold up. Loving the ladies, hold up. Next hand, looking down at the pocket rockets of the heart and club variety in the low jack here. I go ahead and raise it up to 16. A standard raise for me. Disguise my range a little bit. 3 callers, 4 ways to the flop of jack of spades, 6 of hearts, 10 of diamonds. The rainbow is nice, but not the best flop for me aside from the gut shot. Early position, who's a regular lag player, loose aggressive player who I've played with a couple times. Throws out a bet of $30. I call just to see what happens here on the turn. Turn is not is kind of a brick, but 3 of diamonds. The diamond draw gets there if their diamond comes on the river. So we're still 3 ways, and after the early position lag, he quickly fires $130 into a $160 pot. Puts me in a pretty tough spot. He covers me by good amounts. I don't think a shove on mine is the best play here. Calling would be silly. So I think folding or shoving are my only 2 options. This guy could have easily trips or a draw, or could be betting, bluffing with total air. And it's just a tough spot now. You really hate to do it. But I think for a second, what else could he be on? I put him on either 2-pair jack 10 suited, or maybe even trip jacks or trip 10s. I don't think any 3s or 6s are in his range. So it always hurts, but I decide to let the rockets go. American Airlines will fly one other day, but that day is not today. I will live to fight on, see another day. Very next hand, poker gods were smiling down on Jay Disco, because the ladies come to my hand once again. Under the gun this time. I go ahead and raise 13. I like to vary my pre-flop raise sizes to disguise my range with made hands, especially from early position. No need to bloat the pot unnecessarily. So, pre-flop. Flop comes 8, 5, 10, all spades. So, unlike before, this is a very bad-looking flop for me. I have no spades. I go ahead and check. Checks through. Turn is the 4 of hearts. This is a little bit better, essentially a brick. I'm in the first act. I bet 25 into 52 just to kind of test the water, see where I'm at. But I get 3 callers, get at least 1 to fold out, which isn't the worst. River comes the ace of diamonds, not a great card, but should be good for my range as the initial raiser. I check for deception, planning to call any decently sized bet, but it ends up checking all the way around. I show my queens, not sure where we are, but we're good. So we take that $152 pot down. Nice to have queens hold up 2 times in a row. Next hand, kind of a fun one, 6-4 offsuit. New dealer. I usually wouldn't play this hand, but it's a limp pot, so in the cutoff, I go ahead and just decide to limp in. So we were going a whole 5 ways, but the flop comes 3, 5, 6. So flop ended, gut shot with 2 clubs on the board. Small blind bets 10, new player, seems very tight, straightforward. Both myself, middle position call. 3 ways to the turn. Turn comes the king of spades. The checks around, sensing weakness, I go ahead and try for a semi-bluff, hoping to either take it down here or hit my straight on the river. But both players end up calling, thinking now they have pocket 7s, 8s, or ace X. The river is a 8 of hearts, a total brick for me with my straight. But I go ahead and just decide to continue the story that I've been telling, that I either have my straight or perhaps I have a king. I go ahead and throw a bet of $50, but everyone quickly folds. So it's nice to get that one through. Nice to sense the tendencies of your opponents and exploit them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Nice that this one worked out for me. Next hand, we're on the hijack, looking down at Queen 10 of the spade variety. It's always fun to play these suited connectors. They usually flop decently well. I raised a 13, small blind calls, middle position then shoves for 42 total. For $30 more in position, getting a good price. Definitely have good odds here. Really hoping to flop well. So I go ahead and make the call for $30 more. Small blind calls as well. So we're going to be going 3 ways to the flop, hoping to get some equity here. But don't get it. Deuce, 3, jack, checks through. I have a backdoor spade, but that quickly disappears with the 3 of clubs on the turn, which then pairs the board. I pretty much at this point give up, especially when a 9 of spades comes on the turn. I whiff everything, checks around. Queen 10 is definitely not good. Small blind mucks, and the initial shover shows the pocket rockets. So his aces stood the test of time. In this hand, he takes it down on this Queen 10 of spades hand. Next hand, we are on the button, looking down at 9 queen. These Queen X holdings offsuits I usually don't play, but whenever I don't play them, I've been flopping like, there's like trip queens or full houses on the flop. So I'm deciding just to gamble a little bit and play here on the button, use my position. It's a straddles on, so I go ahead and call for 6. Ace 8 jack, so a good looking flop for me. After it checks through, I go ahead and throw a bet of $25. And only middle position calls. So we're heads up to the turn. Turn comes the 10 of hearts, so I make my straight, but now the flush gets there. After it again checks to me, I go ahead and do $45 to induce a little bit of action, bet for value, a little over a half pot size bet here. Middle position calls again. The river is 9 of diamonds, which extends my straight, and I also get a pair here. And I go ahead and just check through on this time, just in case I'm up against a flush draw that's slow playing it. I show my straight. Middle position shows 7-9 offsuit, and I take it down for the higher straight with the Queen of Diamonds in my holding. So nice take down, a $165 pot with the higher straight. Probably could have gotten a little bit of value on that river, but still nice take the pot down. Next hand, looking at the pocket jiggities. Jack of spades, jack of diamonds. In the low jack this go around, I go ahead and raise to $16, my standard pre-flop raise, with most of my hands out of playable hands. Small blind and button calls. We're through as the pot, through as the flop. Flop comes 5 of spades, 10 of diamonds, king of clubs. So rainbow flop here. I don't make a set of jacks, which I usually have been historically, but I check through, which is not the greatest decision because now ace of diamonds on the turn. And after the small blind shoves for about 175, I really can't justify calling this. Definitely has a king. Could easily have queen jack for the turned straight. Could easily have a flush draw. Again, it hurts to do it, but I think this is the proper fold to throw away my pocket jiggities here. Should I play that hand differently? Let me know. Next hand, in under the gun, looking down at ace 4 of diamonds. I go ahead and limp in just for funsies, see where I'm at. These ace suited connectors tend to flop pretty well, especially with the potential for the nut flush. Middle position is not taking that limp, though. He raised it up to 25. For 20 bucks more, I go ahead and make the call, and the player behind me calls as well. So we're going to be going through as the flop, which comes 5-8 deuce rainbow, 1 diamonds. So great flop for me. I flop a lot of equity here with the backdoor straight, as well as the backdoor flush draw. I go ahead and check, and it checks around to the initial raiser, who goes ahead and shoves for about $100, which puts me in an interesting position. He could easily have, this player specifically could easily have jacks, queens, kings, maybe aces. I count a bet and think about calling, but ultimately let it go. I think in hindsight, this was a mistake. Let me know if I should have played that hand. Last hand, 2 jacks, jiggities, clubs and spades in the hijack. I raise a 13, get 1 caller. So we're going heads up to the flop. Flop, which comes king 9 3 rainbow. Decent looking flop for me. I don't think the opponent has any sort of king. His range potentially a 9, but with a middle pair here, I go ahead and make a pretty standard c-bet. 25. Folds. I take it down. Small pot. Last pot of the day. Last hand of the session.
What's up, party people?
Currently it is 4:20. 4:20 p.m. Los Angeles local time. Short session, good session. Up one point, about 620. Around my highest. A couple hands, a lot of those combo draws versus all-in shoves. Not getting the right price, the right odds to make the call. The king 9 diamonds, the ace 4 diamonds hands, like the 10 times, you know, pot size bets. So if I can justify calling there and just test the variance of a hope I just luck out and turn or river. So yeah, just didn't call those. Let me know what you think. If I should have played those hands or not. Overall good session, short session in for 275 and out for 476. $201 profit. So nice to take a win there. First vlog at the bike. Coming into the parking lot. Very cool. All right, I'll see the flippity. Peace.